We are the shadows that look back. Brent Weeks from The Way of the Shadow.
Welcome, humble adventurers, to my realm of knowledge and mystery. Here, in my cursed library, are endless tomes and scrolls on the darkest and evilest foes in all the realms. Be they from Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, the many worlds of darkness, or any realm in between. Welcome to the Dastardly Decimal System. I'm your caretaker of the corrupt, the librarian, Castor Cain. And supervising as always is Vega the cat.
What is the difference between a vigilante and a villain? For some, the difference is based on who is in charge. The realm of Earth has many examples. The legendary Robin Hood was labeled a villain because he fought against the evil rulers. For others, like Batman, they are a vigilante because there is no mistaking the good that they do. But what happens when the line between a daring vigilante and a murderous villain is so thin that nobody can tell the difference? For today's topic, I have brewed a pot of Lapsang Souchong tea. It is a dark and earthy taste with a distinct campfire smoke aroma. It is a high caffeine tea that will help us stay awake for long hours as we sit here, have a cup, and unravel the mystery of the Black Blade of Raam. Come, Vega, and join us. I know you're always a little scared when it comes to assassins, but I think you'll enjoy the story of this one. The Black Blade of Raam is a mysterious figure. All of his humanoid features are covered with black clothes and black face coverings. He wears blackened leather armor and wields a longbow alongside a vicious golden kukri. The Black Blade uses no magic spells or items. He simply relies on his exceptionally high level of skill, his martial abilities, and his collection of alchemic items like smoke bombs and signal arrows. His nimbleness allows him to rapidly switch weapons. His skills with a bow can force a foe backwards with each arrow. And his skill with a blade can cause devastating damage with his executioner strike. Those who have faced off with the Black Blade have found him difficult to stop, as he recovers quickly from being dazed, dominated, stunned, or even mind-controlled. Most of these spells having little to no effect due to his insanely high will. As fast and as sudden as the black beard appears, he vanishes just as quickly, often using a smoke bomb as a diversion before vanishing into the night. The Black Blade has a subterranean fortress that he calls home. It is a place he can hide for several months if needed. The entrance is well hidden, and the fortress is filled with numerous and complex traps, suggesting that the Black Blade has an extensive knowledge of engineering and architecture. In the many realms that populate wild space, there exists the world of Athos. Once a lush paradise, centuries of destructive magic have turned the world into a series of punishing deserts with only a few oases between them. Athos is a world full of psionics, ruled by the villainous sorcerer kings, and a land that has pretty much been forsaken by the gods, as they refuse to answer any of its citizens' prayers. To most of us, though, this world is simply known as Dark Sun. The ancient city of Raam was once ruled by the sorcerer queen Abalashe Ray. she was a vicious and powerful ruler. Yet despite her best efforts, occasionally powerful individuals would rise up against her. Most would be rebellion leaders or challengers of authority, but each would be quickly slain by the queen herself or one of her loyal followers. The Black Blade, however, was different. He appeared nearly a decade ago. His first kills were thought as nothing more than a few random murders. Yet after several months of his killings, his reputation and worries began to grow. If you were someone rising up in the ranks within the city of Raam, you were a possible assassination target for the Black Blade. At first, the Templars of Raam made a big show in trying to find the Black Blade. They sent squads of half-giant Templars throughout the city with orders to capture or kill. And let's be honest, they were there to kill him. After weeks became months of searching, and no more assassinations occurred, the Sorcerer Queen victoriously declared that the Black Blade had been driven from the city. She congratulated her efforts and praised the actions of her Templar, declaring her city-state free of the assassin's reach. Then he struck again. He didn't strike from the shadows. He picked his target and murdered him in broad daylight. This marked the change in the Black Blade's process. Before, he was simply a blade in the shadows, killing without even being seen. Most people were unaware of the murders until the victim was found, often not until the daylight had arrived. Now, he was killing people in broad daylight. He was killing them in public, and he was doing it with lots of witnesses. He made sure everyone knew that the Black Blade still remained in the city of Raam. And despite whatever the Sorcerer Queen tried, he would always get his victim. In the days before the great earthquake that ripped Athos apart, the Sorcerer Queen, Abalashe faced off against a half-elf wizard known as the Sun Wizard. The two met in a violent, arcane battle. The Sorcerer Queen, shockingly, was slain by the Sun Wizard, and in the Queen's death, all of Raam revolted in anarchy. The Sorcerer Queen had been evil and violent, but she had kept control of her city. Now, as Raam burned, various factions violently fought for whatever power they could hold in their sadistic grasps. The innocent suffered, desperate for someone to come and save them from the greed that destroyed their home. This chaos only encouraged the Black Blade. While in the beginning, his kills were viewed as random, now his method was well known and well feared. The Black Blade would target those who had had a rapid rise in status. If they had gained an elevated level of power, a rapid promotion, a surge of political influence, or even just a boost in popularity, they were a possible target. The Black Blade had killed powerful Templars, leaders of the Veiled Alliance, nobles, masters of the way, leaders of merchant houses, influential visitors from other city-states, slave tribe infiltrators, insurgent leaders, and even gladiators on a winning streak. The Black Blade targeted them all, and he did so for the love of the chaos. Each assassination started the same way. First, there was the warning shot. He would fire an alchemical arrow near his target. The arrow would slam into a pillar or a wall or something beside that target. Then it would burn with bright purple fire. It would scream with a loud whine and leave a coiling trail of purple smoke in its wake. The arrow always landed near its intended victim. Anywhere from 3 days to a full week after, the Black Blade would kill its target. And the Black Blade never missed his target. For 3 days, a person would live their lives, panicking, knowing that death was coming for them. Most would try to hire guards, build up defenses, secure themselves in some unbreachable room. But none of it mattered. The Black Blade never missed his target. Once the victim was killed, often publicly before the eyes of many, many people, the Black Blade would vanish. He would stay hidden for several months, appearing not once, often leaving just enough time for people to think he had finally left, only for him to reappear and restart the process all over again. The Black Blade wasn't feared by the working class. He only targeted the successful. It was like a scary story a mother told her child. Don't take shortcuts. Don't skip in the line. And make sure you do all of the hard steps and pay your dues. Otherwise, the Black Blade will kill you. Because of this, and his hidden identity, he was viewed as many as a vigilante. One who would slay the wicked and the rich. This was far from the truth. The Black Blade cared not for alignment, or for the people, or for the city. He cared for chaos. The Black Blade would kill the evil. He would kill the good. He would even kill those who had gained influence to help the downtrodden. The Black Blade didn't care about bettering the city of Raam. He simply wanted to revel in the chaos. He simply wanted to watch the city burn. Despite nearly a decade of assassinations, nobody has figured out the Black Blade's identity. Some think he is a blade for hire under the employ of the Sorcerer Queen. But this is wildly doubted. If the Sorcerer Queen wanted someone dead, she would often just do it herself. What does it say about society in almost any realm that the working class are so downtrodden that they look to someone murdering the successful and think them a hero? To me, it shows signs of how many of our societies need to improve to close that gap between the rich and the poor. But to others, I think it shows that many are getting to the point where only violence will save them, and are sadly being motivated by the actions of the Black Blade. And that is a terrifying thought. It seems that our tea has run out. I hope this aids in your assassin hunting. Join me again in my library for more stories and lore about the darkest villains from the darkest realms. This has been the Dastardly Decimal System. And once again, I'm your librarian, Castor Cain. And with me as always is Vega the cat.
Do you love the Dastardly decimal system and want to support us? Check out our new Patreon. Members will get access to show notes, official artwork, our new bonus episode series called Cleaning Up After Tea Time, and of course, plenty of cat pics of Vega voice actors Vash and Zid. You'll even be able to suggest a topic for a future episode. Check it out at patreon.com/dastardlydecimalsystem. If you're not financially able and still want to support us, suggest the show to a D&D loving friend. It really helps us get noticed, and binging is always encouraged. The Dastardly Decimal System can be found on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky at DD System Podcast. That's Delta Delta System Podcast. Drop us a message and say hi. Vega always loves the attention. This podcast was produced by Midnight Reading Audio, a division of Midnight Reading Publishing. The voice of Castor Cain is Larry Gent. Hi. The voice of Vega is provided by my cats, Vash and Zid. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.